I'm going to be making venison bourguignon. All that is peasant stew. All I have here to use, really, the ingredients are onions and some carrots, some parsley, garlic, a little bit of tomato paste, thyme, and some bacon renderings, and I'm gonna put bacon in it too. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start with a hot skillet, and I'm gonna be browning my hind quarter. It's just stew meat pieces, of venison. I'm gonna season this with a little salt and pepper, and I go kind of heavy on the salt. Use about a half as much pepper. When it gets really hot, we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of our venison down in it, and I usually just use one of my pieces to test it. It's ready. You get to hear that good sizzle. All right, you're not gonna let them touch while they're in the pan because you want a good brown on your meat, and if it doesn't get a good brown on it, then it's just gonna be, it's not gonna have a good flavor, and it's not gonna have that beautiful color. I have a little salt and pepper on it already, but I can see that I need a little bit more on it, and it kind of helps to brown it. My venison is browned. It is an absolutely beautiful color. I'm doing this in batches so that I didn't crowd the pan, because had I crowded the pan, it would not have browned, it would have steamed. Now I'm going to add the rest of this meat. I'm browning this in bacon grease, and I rendered down about 10 pieces of bacon, and that's what I'm cooking this in. Sometimes I need a little bit extra. My grandmother told me never be without a jar of bacon grease next to your stove. My meat is completely browned. So now we get to move on to the next stage of making this scrumptious meal. And I'm going to pour in the onions, the carrots. My onions and carrots have caramelized, and now I'm going to go to the next step. All I need to do is to pour in my beef broth. Any robust red wine will do just fine. My stew meat. I'm gonna pour back in this luscious bacon. I'm gonna put in some garlic, tomato paste, my favorite ingredient, thyme. And I'm gonna let that simmer for about an hour and a half. It's been a couple of hours. Now I'm gonna add some mushrooms that I've already sauteed in some butter. If yours is not thick, you can do a little mixture of flour and water, equal parts. And I might pour just a little bit in here. I don't really need a lot because mine is kind of already thick. But you can judge, and you can decide how thick you want it. You need to bring it to a boil if you do that to thicken your dish. I'm going to ladle a little bit of this into my bowl. Do you see how scrumptious that is? And I just have to do this. I know that you're not supposed to play with your food, but look at this meat, at how it's just so tender, it just falls apart. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of parsley on here, and I'm gonna put the rest of the parsley in here, turn the heat off, and stir it up. And there you have venison bourguignon. Scott, can you say bourguignon? And can you say it with a southern accent?